Wrestling at the Chase featured many memorable moments. Who can forget Cowboy Bob Ellis versus Gene Kiniski, Dick the Bruiser versus Ric Flair, Ted DiBiase versus Dick Murdoch, or the Briscoes versus the Funks. Today we take a look back at the closing moments of a terrific contest between NWA Champion and David Von Erich.
Shoulder to the stomach. Race drives the shoulder to the stomach and knocks David clear out of the ring to the concrete floor. Race going outside the ring after David, the Von Erichs. Oh, Race going for the pile driver on the concrete floor. David blocks it and backflips Race onto the concrete floor. David Von Erich stopping the pile driver of Harley Race and dropping Race onto the concrete floor. Harley Race knocked David through the ropes and tried to give David a pile driver on the concrete. David backflipped Race to the concrete himself. David all excited, trying to get at Race, who has a 20 count outside the ring. Harley, badly stunned, rolls underneath the bottom rope and into the ring. David Von Erich with a tremendous edge right here, tries a follow-up. He drops Race. Try for a pin. Race drapes his legs on the bottom rope. David Von Erich, what more could you ask from a budding young star? A young star, we should say, because he's showing he belongs inside that ring with the world champion. Drop kick by David. Race goes down. David goes for the pin. Race has those legs on the ropes once more.
10 minutes have elapsed, 20 minutes left.
Race with a headbutt to the stomach. David came in trying to follow up the advantage. Kevin Von Erich yells that it was below the belt where Race delivered that headbutt. That headbutt to the side of David's head, right into the temple area. In fact, the temple, which has been so important to the success of the Iron Claw for Fritz Von Erich, and recently David Von Erich has been using that Iron Claw too. Race going for the suplex. David blocks it. David blocks Race's suplex, lifts Race. Suplex by David Von Erich on the world champion. Race is on hold. Try for a pin. At 2, the world champion kicks off David Von Erich. It has been simply all David Von Erich, who has dominated Harley Race. Knee lift to the stomach by David Von Erich. Forearm smash by David. Race pinned along those ropes. And then the headbutt, oh, right on the chin. That's a good way to lose some teeth or to break a jaw. Harley Race desperately slamming that head into David Von Erich's face. Flying mare by Harley Race. David stunned now. Race sizing up David for the knee drop right to the forehead. The knee drop right to the forehead by the world heavyweight champion. David Von Erich in trouble now. The first time in the match he's been in real trouble. Race with another knee drop to the head, and you could hear Kevin Von Erich in dismay slam his fist on the table. Try for a pin. David won't stay down. David Von Erich won't stay down. Fritz and Kevin both yelling, "Get up, David, get up." Race hooks the head, reverse neck breaker. This could be the first fall, the reverse neck breaker by the world champion on David Von Erich. This could be it. Count of 1, count of 2, and David Von Erich, showing how tough he is, showing he is made of stern stuff, takes that reverse neck breaker and refuses to be pinned. Flying mare by Race. First it was all David Von Erich for a good 10 minutes. Race has bounced back now, and it's David who's battling for his very life as a contender for the World Heavyweight Championship. David, hurt, stunned. Race sizes up David. Could this be the diving headbutt? The diving headbutt by Harley Race, a favorite finishing maneuver of the World Heavyweight Champion. David in tremendous difficulty. Race is hitting with a reverse neck breaker with the knee drops, the diving headbutt. The Von Erichs outside the ring are just encased in gloom as David really in trouble now. Race again kicks David right squarely in the forehead, and Fritz Von Erich is incensed at the tactics of Race. Race mounts the ropes, the diving headbutt from the second rope. Oh, he caught him in the claw. He caught Race in the claw. David Von Erich with the iron claw on the world champion. Race diving off for the diving headbutt. David was waiting with the iron claw. David grinding away on the head of the world champ. Look how he's over him. He's sitting right over the world champion. Fritz and Kevin cheering on David Von Erich. Race caught in the iron claw of David Von Erich, the hold that Fritz invented and helped his son David perfect. What a move that was by David Von Erich, catching Race as he dove off the ropes with the claw. Now it's so important for Race. He's got to get to his feet. If he can't, look at the blood pouring out of the side of the head of Race. The blood pouring out of the head of Race. David Von Erich with the iron claw has opened up Race's head. Look at the blood streaming down the face of Harley Race. The iron claw opening up the head of the world champion. The blood pouring out of the head of Race. Race totally desperate now. He's got to do something to get away from that claw. David Von Erich has opened up the head of Race with the iron claw. David trying to trip Race. David puts Race down. The blood smeared over the face, the chest, the arms of the world champion. David Von Erich showing that he can use a claw as well as his father ever has, because David is in there with the man who may very well be the toughest in professional wrestling today. I think Race is out. That's it. David Von Erich has beaten the world champion with the iron claw, making Fritz and David the winners. The world champion on the mat, the blood running out of his head, all over his face, over his chest, over his arms. David Von Erich has pinned the world heavyweight champion, rather has put him out cold, causing the match to be stopped and making it a victory for Fritz and David Von Erich over the world champion. The Von Erich celebrating, Race bleeding in terrible pain, trying to get to his feet. Now look at the blood just pouring out of that head of Harley Race. Race trying to get to his feet as the Von Erichs celebrate their victory. Race, you can see the blood smeared all over the canvas as Race tries to get to his feet. Fritz Von Erich looks at what David has done, what his son David has done to the world champion. Here's Mickey Garagiola.
In 14 minutes and 30 seconds, the Iron Claw, the winner, David Von Erich. Race failing to pin his opponents. The winners of the match is Fritz Von Erich and David Von Erich.